What is the prettiest song you ever heard in your life? Gymnopedies Eric Satie. These songs seem timeless, like they existed since the beginning of time and just had to be discovered. I can listen to them anytime, no matter what mood I'm in, and they just make me feel present and valid in that particular moment. They make me believe that every human that has ever existed has had so much in common with every other human, no matter where or when they lived. We all breathe, we all eat, we all feel the sun's warmth on our skin, we all look at the same moon at night, we all sleep, and we all die. Vincent Starry, Starry Night by Don McLean. So pretty, but so sad. I fell in love with Scarborough Fair by Simon and Garfunkel as a kid, and I still have a soft spot in my heart for it. Edit, thanks for my first awards. I can't wait to listen to all the covers of the song and other Sanjay songs you've suggested. The boxer is haunting. In a clearing stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every glove that laid him down or cut him till he cries out, in his anger and his shame, I am leaving. I am leaving, but the fighter still remains. When I was a late teen in the 90s, I had a thing for Simon and Garfunkel, but my friends actually liked my weird taste in music and when in my car always wanted to listen to it. The biggest hit was the 59th Street Bridge song. All my friends loved that song and would actually ask me to put it on when they got in my car. Good times. The Night We Met, Lord Huron. Fuck, just thinking about that song makes me think of my ex-wife and tear up a bit. Years of no contact later and she still wipes me out emotionally. White Winter Hymnal. Not really the prettiest lyrics if you know what it's based on, however the flow is just so calm. It's Blue Ridge Mountains for me. Harvest Moon by Neil Young. This song reminded me of my parents because it's about the long-lasting love that comes from a mature, long-term committed relationship. After my dad passed, I shared the song with her. Every night after she went to bed and turned off her lights, she would ask Alexa to play Harvest Moon. A year later her heart started to fail her. With the help of hospice, I cared for her while her amazingly wonderful heart slowly, yet at the same time abruptly came to a stop. I begged her not to leave Hust yet as I fumbled for my phone, and quickly played her Harvest Moon. I like to think she heard it playing as she walked towards my dad and finally got to dance with him again. Holy shit, I didn't think I was gonna cry that like this early. I'm sorry for your loss. Annie's Song by John Denver. I have seen hundreds of concerts since 1965. I have seen the Stones more than once, and all the Beatles except John individually. I have seen Prince, Madonna, Santana, The Who, the Original Animals, Janis Joplin, Jefferson Airplane, just for starters. I could go on and on. However, I saw John Denver in 1979 and that concert is in my top 10, if not top 5. It was magical, especially Annie's Song. The man was an incredible entertainer, greater than the sum of his parts. Very humble, very precise in the sound he wanted, a perfectionist. Both Sides Now. By Joni Mitchell. Her more recent performance of it was something else. She's aged and it almost has a different meaning knowing the biggest part of her life is behind her. One of my favorite songs period. Barbara's Adagio for strings. Hopapala by Sigur Rós. I was going to say Sturalfer. Time in a Bottle, Jim Croce. First time I heard Operator, I cried. Broke up with my first real long-term GF a few months before. In My Life. Played this at my brother's funeral last month. As bittersweet and sad it was, I play the song almost every day, for that last line. I love you more. I came here to say this. The emotional maturity in this song is amazing. And it's only 3 years after Love Me Do. Written when John was 24. All these places had their moments with lovers and friends, I still can recall some are dead and some are living in my life, I've loved them all. The range and quality of the Beatles' art is really amazing, let alone in such a short time it occurred. Claire de Lune. This comment sent me to Claire de Lune on YouTube as I don't know the song and there is a guy who comments on the video every day with whatever is going on in his life. He's over 900 days now. It's so random and oddly sweet when you read what he has to say. Claire de Lune, Moonlight Sonata, Moonlight Serenade, Moon River. All the greatest songs are about the moon. Check out Ludovico Einaudi, Nuvo Bianca. I also love Hans Zimmer Interstellar intro, frigging amazing. I listen to mostly metal and to find a few of them songs is funny because it's like a 180 for me music-wise. Blackbird. I started singing this as I clicked the post, happy to see it with so many upvotes. A lot of the Jim Croce songs are slept on in my opinion. I Got a Name. I'll Say I'll Love You in a song. Hey Tomorrow. Operator. Walkin' Back to Georgia. Edit, corrected some titles. Yes, Operator is a great song. You've been so much more than kind that you can keep the dime, breaks my heart every time. So many great ones mentioned, just like Heaven the Cure. And Pictures of You. I'd add Close to Me. Over the Rainbow, Israel Kamakawiwool. 1,000,000%. My big brother's favorite song. Since he passed, I have a hard time keeping it together whenever it comes on. My buddy's dad, who was like a second father to me, passed away and they played this at his funeral. I think of him every time I hear it. R.I.P. Avril 14th. I apologize in advance for telling the story that nobody asked for, and I know this is gonna just go out into the nothingness, but I used to have a fat tabby boy cat named Bob, short for Bobbert. We were soulmates. He was my sun and my moon. When I first heard Avril 14th, it filled me with such warmth that I scooped up my sleepy Bobby Lou in my arms and gently danced with him, kissing the top of his head and inhaling his scent. And got teary, completely swept away by the music together. It was a beautiful moment. Anytime I heard that song from then on, I would scoop up my Bob and dance again. And it always devastated me a bit because I knew that one day, he wouldn't be there to scoop up anymore. So I would be completely present with him during the whole song. He would lay in my arms like a baby, totally blissed out from the love and attention. When he left this world, I couldn't listen to it for a very long time, but somehow I can again. And anytime I do, I can smell the top of his head and feel his gentle purr in my empty arms. I fucking love this song and will forever. Edit, holy shit, I literally thought no one would read my comment. Your Song by Elton John. This particular verse has always been a real favorite of mine. So excuse me for forgetting, but these things I do see I've forgotten, if they're green or they're blue anyway. The thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. It's such a great song. I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is when you're in the world. I will follow you into the dark death cab for Cutie. What Sarah said has got to be one of the most poignant songs ever written. I Will Follow You Into the Dark is another great one by Death Cab. Ben Gibbard is an amazing lyricist. God Only Knows Beach Boys. Basically that whole album. Yep, Pet Sounds is one of the best albums of all time. Dreams. The Cranberries. That or Linger. Linger is the first song I thought of. That opening is so heavenly, never gets old all these years later. Landslide. I agree, the live version. Leather and Lace is pretty amazing too, maybe even better somehow. Falling Slowly from the film Broadway musical Once. If you haven't already, you should really check out the rest of the Swell season catalog. Glenn Hansard has such a unique and powerful voice. FYI, they are touring again after breaking up as a band a couple years ago. I'm so excited to hear their music live this summer. For Emily, Whenever I May Find Her, if you've never heard it, check it out. The lyrics are some of the most beautiful and poetic I've ever heard. Love that one. And when you ran to me, your cheeks flushed with the night. We walked on frosted fields of juniper and lamplight. I held your hand. Romeo and Juliet, Dire Straits. The guitar solo from Knopfler at the end of Romeo and Juliet is what got me interested in actual rock and roll rather than just pop music. Love this song. In Your Eyes, by Peter Gabriel. The intro theme is just out of this world. That and for me Mercy Street is a big one. Edit, Silver Wow, thank you. Enya, Caribbean Blue. So many Enya songs are just gorgeous. I love her instrumental-only songs. The piano of Lothlorien, Shepherd Moons, and No Holly for Miss Quinn are absolutely ethereal. Huge fan of the entire Shepherd Moons album. Lucky Man, Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Let Down, Radiohead. A Warm Place, 9 Inch Nails. Atlantic City, The Band. Your Hand in Mine, Explosions in the Sky. Standing on the Moon, Grateful Dead. Earth Angel, Will You Be Mine? By Harry Waters Jr., Marvin Berry, and Starlighters. Ah yes, they played this at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance. Chuck. It's Marvin, your cousin, Marvin Berry. You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this. Nutshell, Alice in Chains. My god, either live version or studio version are incredible. If you don't know the song, I recommend a lot to listen. Unplugged version is amazing. Thank you for watching. In the comments below the video, you can write what is your most beautiful song you have ever heard in your life.